Producer and record executive Sha Money XL talks about creating 50 Cent's first album and classic Get Rich or Die Tryin by learning how to engineer on the spot. That's right, as AI starts to advance and producers' roles start to change, it's very important for us to always constantly learn new skills. So let's go ahead and take a look at this clip. I'm gonna go ahead and give my feedback so that way you walk away with double the value. Without further ado, let's get into it.
Give us a breakdown of which tracks were recorded in your basement and which were with Dr. Dre and Eminem.
So the whole 2001, we were in my crib recording. We were doing the freestyles and we were doing songs. The real songs that he was starting to put together, he would say, push that to the side, push that to the side. So we was recording nonstop. And at one point, you know, he just was like, all right, we're going to put these records out for mixtapes and then this is going to be the album. But I was on ADAT and I was like, yo, I need more tracks. So I was like, I had got this little check and I was like, I'm gonna go to Guitar Center because I heard they got this new system called Digio 1 and it's Pro Tools, but it's like a smaller version. It's not hard to use and I'm gonna learn how to use it. So I went to Guitar Center right before he came to my crib. I brought the computer, the Digio 1 system, and the hard drive. And when he came to my house, I opened it up and I called the guy from Guitar Center. I was like, yo, I opened it up, what to do? So he literally was on the phone teaching me how to use Pro Tools. Never used it before. Mind you, I'm not an engineer, man. We ain't got no money for no fucking engineer. So guess what? Instead of paying $30 an hour for something, we ain't got money for food that day. I'm gonna have to hit that and we gonna save that. And then this is my crib. We ain't paying no studio fee. So I'm gonna eat that. But I'm gonna learn this so we could get it done.
Man, this really takes me back. You know, these days we can kind of be spoiled by how much information we have. We have YouTube, we have message boards, Reddit, we have Chat GPT, we have all these different places we can get information from. But back in the day, all you really had was, you know, Guitar Center, Sam Ash, and maybe a couple of different forums online, and that was pretty much it. A lot of people do have things to say about Guitar Center or Guitar Center employees, especially back in the day. Look at what Sha Money XL is saying. This was really his only source of information. The employee was able to help Sha Money to, you know, set everything up. Without that extra help, we may have never gotten 50 Cent's Get Rich or Die Tryin. Shout out to Guitar Center. Sometimes producers and engineers forgot where they came from. You was a little teeny bopper one day. You didn't jump out the womb knowing how to parallel compress and work a pull tech. So stop it. Stop the cap. So shout out to Guitar Center.
So the dude ran through the whole process with me. Hit the record button, had the mic going in, bang. First record I ever record on Pro Tools was What Up Gangsta, right? So I record the whole song. We go crazy, 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 bro. So then next day, I'm trying to find it. Yo, the audio files is all over the computer. I didn't save it right. So I had to call this guy, Carlisle Young, who's like a real engineer, and he was like, yo, I'm gonna come, but yo, you know what, book the studio in Deer Park, which was Corey Rooney's studio, and we went there with Carlisle Young, and he actually re-recorded What Up Gangsta and took some of the files I did have, put it together for me and showed me how to save it, how to do. I didn't know what I was doing, man. Like literally, Many Men, High All the Time, that wasn't recorded on Pro Tools, that was recorded on ADAT. We had to transfer it from ADAT to Pro Tools. You could hear some of that frequency that ADAT has. You'll hear it on Many Men. You know what I mean? And some of the distortion as well. And so I was just learning how to be an engineer. So I'm getting with guys that were professional, and then they were teaching me how to make it. So then after that, Dre will give us a beat CD, go back from LA, cut all the records, come back. He's like, yo, all right, do this hook over. Yo, do this. Yo, like he was the one, yo, raise your tone. I saw him vocal coach.
Shout out to Sha Money XL. Sometimes producers or executives or whoever is around the recording artist feel like, you know, we need to hire this person or this can't get done because we have this setback. Instead of making excuses or feeling like he had to have the money to do it, Sha Money stepped up and became the role of the engineer. And not everybody would care about their artist enough. So to me, that tells me that there was a big why behind why Sha Money actually took action action and did this. That means he had a lot of belief in 50 Cent. He felt like it was worth the time investment to learn how to engineer, so that way his artist can actually grow and blow up and fit the vision that he actually had for him. So shout out to him. Once again, not too many people would take the initiative to do that, but producers out there, you know, please don't feel like you're too big, you're too special to learn something new outside of your wheelhouse. If that skill is needed for recording artists that you work with or different people that you service as a music producer, don't be afraid to do that. Step out your comfort zone and try something new. Even if you do it wrong, you could learn something in the process like Sha Money did, and you could grow and become more valuable.
I saw him vocal coach, and I'm like, I was engineering the whole year. I was like, yo, Fifth, do that again. Like, we was in vocal coaching him. Like, Dre was like, oh, you got to do that, bro? He's like, nah, say it like this. Say it this tone. I'm like, yo, I'm going to be doing that, right? But Fifth would be in there. He'd know what he doing. He always knew what the he cut the record. His tones was right, and it just was magical. It wasn't like you had to tell him that, but I learned that that's a whole nother process to engineering, which I wasn't in. So then when we get back, I'm like, yo, Fifth, do that over. Yo, cut that. Fifth, he missing the thought of a word. Yo, I'm throwing a word out at him. Yo, here's a line. You know what I'm saying? And then he just was just going in, man. And we record everything.
This is a part of production that I also learned after recording and working with recording artists in person. Instead of just emailing a beat or meeting someone at an open mic or something like that and selling them a beat, it's the actual process of working through the record, getting the record to feel right and to fit right. Sometimes recording artists will have a version of the song, they're working through it, and then as you're recording them, you'll start to hear certain things. You'll start to hear certain apps in what they're doing, different melodies, maybe even different ad-lib ideas. Instead of saying, let's do that verse over again, you can actually tell them to do it with more intensity, or you can tell them to do it with more of a chill vibe. And these days, since we do have platforms like Pro Tools, FL Studio, Studio One, you know, we're not really limited in any way. If something works, it works and we can keep it. If something doesn't work, then it doesn't work and we can delete it. You know what I'm saying? So we can always work through things and just try different things out and experiment. So all the producers out there, man, please, if you cook up beats, also try to learn how to record, because that's going to open up a whole new world of production. This is a style of production that makes you very irreplaceable. People can find different beats on YouTube, BeatStars, you know, anywhere online, SoundCloud, but it's going to be very difficult for them to find someone who can actually coach them and work them through having a quality finished product. So please open up your mind, open up your horizons, because you never know how much more value you can add to the situation.
Bring it to M. M will take the files, throw it in his system with Steve King, elevate it, whole new frequency. Take it from where we had it. Then we get the stems for the tracks, and then that's when we just started putting the album together. But half the album was recorded in 2001, prior to 2002 signing, leading up to that, you know. We could go track for track, I could tell you, man, where it was recorded, man, and what was recorded before the album.
Let's talk about the beat selection process. Did you give beats to 50, or how did you guys select them?
Yeah, so no, Fifth will literally he'll comb through every beat. All I did was give him the CDs. Rarely was it like, yo, this track. It was literally a CD with selections, and he would take that. He would write everything in Pennsylvania and come ready the next day. He would never be like fully writing a song in my studio. He would have it already done, because he premeditatedly cut these records prior. So when he got there, he just had to record it. So I would just be getting CDs from whoever I was fucking with, whether it was Rockweiler, my boy Gino gave me Digger's joint, A. Butler gave me Megahertz, just different people I'm meeting through the industry, just giving me CDs. Rob Reef, I forgot how I got that CD from him with What Up Gangsta on it, but that was the only one we took from that CD, and then that record was crazy. And it just kept going on like that. My boy Conrad, who's from my hood, 114, Harv, Pierre, they all work for Bad Boy, so they were like big in my hood, because I lived in Queens, and they like, the whole Bad Boy was 114. So I would go to Conrad, and he would give me CDs, and from that, you would find other producers that he had that were trying to get to Bad Boy that wasn't getting placements, and then that's where you get Dick It in Water with his crew that gave me that, and then we just took it to other levels, and DJ Rad. That was through my boy Conrad as well, because he connected me with him, because he's from that side of town, and How the Time came in, and then we took it, and then when he sent the files, it was all crazy. I had to re-put it back together. Then I took it to M. Then we was like, yo, we're going to put this here. And then we just started adding more elements to it. Rad did the whole body work. And then me and M just kind of finished it. And then M added the whole theatric parts to it.
This just goes to show how much music production really is a team effort. If Sha Money really just wanted to keep all the production credits for himself, he could have really just boxed out all the other producers and tried to make all the beats himself. But if he's wearing that producer and engineer and executive hat, you know, he's balancing all those different things at the same time, that could really be overwhelming. So keeping himself open to getting beats from other producers helped the vision that 50 Cent and Sha Money had for the entire project, as opposed to just being selfish and just wanting to see himself win. So as producers, as engineers out there, it's not all about you. There's no I in team. Always, you know, look out for your fellow producers. Maybe you guys could work out some type of deal when it comes to credit and back end and things of that nature. So that way it's a team effort. So you guys have this incredible project that you all worked on, and it's not just something that's being held back by one person's ego or another person's ego. You know, there's a saying, many hands make light work, meaning that you can lighten the load if you have a team of people helping you get to a certain goal or a certain point. So guys, always make sure you're out there networking, collabing, and make sure that you always have the vision, the final product in mind, as opposed to just you and your own ego. But let's get back into the video.
It's like, yo, we're going to put this here. And then we just started adding more elements to it. Rad did the whole body work. And then me and M just kind of finished it. And then M added the whole theatric parts to it, where you know, hearing the soundtracks, like in Many Men, you hearing, you know, the shots and everything. M will put all the theatrics to it. And that's when I learned, oh, wow, this is how you do it. And he would just be sitting there with his musician, Louis Resto, adding little key elements that you like, yo, how the when My Poor Little Rich came, and I'm like, yo, you added that part, that shit is crazy. I would have never thought that. But M had this ear where he knew how to just, and that's when I was like, okay, so overdubs, and that's where you get the little co-production credits and the additional production. I'm like, yo, I did something with M touched my joint. I'm like, what? So for me, I was hands-on, not greedy. I was learning from everyone, like musicians. Yo, here, take some publishing for that. Musicians, take some pub. We all shared. We all came and combined, add the elements that made it the biggest records to every record. So M finished the things that were skeletons and made it bigger. Same for Dre. And Dre Records was just next level.
All right, there we go. As I was saying, music production is a team effort, and opening himself up also allowed Sha Money to learn the other elements of music production, working with musicians, adding sound effects, sharing publishing with different people who are adding to the production, as opposed to just being closed off, being like, this is my artist, I'm going to take him to the finish line myself, even if it takes forever. Being open, being a sponge, helped them be a more solid producer, more solid engineer and executive, and of course helped us bring us that classic Get Rich or Die Tryin by 50 Cent. So guys, let me know what you think in the comments. You know, are you learning how to record artists? Do you mainly want to focus on just making beats? Also, have you also thought about engineering and just mixing records as another way to add value to the music production game? Let me know where you're at in the comments. I'll be glad to read them. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you hit like and subscribe. My name is Desmond A, and I'll be back with more great videos. Peace. Wait, before you go, make sure you go to DesmondASounds.com, where you can get free FL Studio patcher plugins, free loops, free guides, everything you need to level up your music production. Once again, go to DesmondASounds.com or click the link in the description. Go there now and totally transform your music production.